If you struggle with consistency and motivation in your workouts, then this is the podcast episode for you. Welcome back, Wellness Big Sisters and Misters. And today we're going to talk about the one sort of game changing, workout changing shift that I've made over the past sort of 2 to 3 years to help me stay that much more consistent and that much more motivated in my workouts. So we do this technique every single workout in the allll sisterhood. So if you're a member already, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think it's the reason that a lot of our members are getting the results that they want and staying more consistent with the workouts in order to get the results that they want. So if we're being honest, a lot of the time we all struggle with consistency issues, right? We all struggle with discipline and showing up for ourselves each and every workout, no matter if we're having a good day, no matter if we're having a bad day. There's just going to be some days that we do not feel like working out, whether that be stress, my period, I know super duper affects me. Emotional stress like work stress, studying, life stress, whatever it might be, there are going to be days when we don't feel like showing up for ourselves. There's going to be days where we finish our workout and we just don't feel any better than when we started. I know a lot of those sort of like motivational Pinterest quotes or whatever is like, just start because you'll feel better after kind of thing, or it's all about how you'll feel after the workout. If you have trouble with consistency, just think about how good you'll feel after you did the workout. And I can tell you from someone who's consistently worked out for like 10, 15 plus years, I don't even know, 15 plus years, that there are so many days, less than not, but so many days that I just do not feel that much better after a workout. And that is okay. There's just going to be those days. But how can we stay consistent knowing that there are going to be those good days and there are going to be those bad days? And again, this is a technique we use in the sisterhood, and it's something that I feel like has super helped me to stay that much more consistent and that much more motivated over these last like 2 to 3 years especially. So that one thing that I'm talking about is super easy. It's free to add to your workouts, and that is shifting our mindsets towards one of gratitude, both before the workout and after the workout. And I know it sounds so cheesy, but a lot of the time, especially on the hard days, we're starting our workouts already in that sort of mindset of negativity where we're like, oh, I got to get this done. And whether or not we're still struggling with that mindset of like, oh, I had all those sweets, I still need to work out and burn that off. Like, I know there's people out there that are still struggling with that mindset, and that's okay. But whether we're coming from that standpoint or whether we're just like, I'm just feeling so blah. I don't want to do it. I don't want to put in the effort to help my body in some certain way that day, whatever it might be. Or I had a hard day at work, whatever reason we have for not wanting to show up for ourselves during that workout. We all have those days, right? And so over the last, again, 2 or 3 years, I've started sort of shifting my mindset before the workout to say, hey, Kelsey, and again, speaking to myself as like a third party observer helps me, but hey, Kelsey, thank you for showing up on the mat today. Thank you for overcoming whatever barriers your mind had to overcome in order to get on the mat today. Thank you for the work you're about to put in, the reps you're about to do, the run you're about to go on, the effort that you're about to put in. Thank you. And so by switching that mindset, no matter if it was a hard day to get on the mat, I'm much more likely to have a great workout and to enjoy that workout. Same thing after the workout, right? Because there are going to be those days where we just are not enjoying the workout, right? Or we're just not, our body doesn't feel as good after. And whether that's a physiological response because we're on our periods or whatever, we're going to have those days. But by ending each and every workout, the days that we feel good and the days that we don't, by saying, thank you for showing up today. Thank you for giving me whatever you could give me today. Mind, body, muscles, joints, nervous system, whatever it is. Like, thank you, each of these components, for working together and giving me a solid effort, a solid chance, a solid sort of like go at it, right? No matter if it was a good workout or a bad workout, just that subtle shift has significantly helped me stay that much more consistent in my workouts, because we are going to have those days where we're just elated, like after a run, right? The runner's high. You're just like, man, that felt great. But if we expect that for every workout, it's going to make it that much harder to stay consistent. Same thing if we have a low and we're just like, gosh, that workout felt terrible. If we ride that low, we're going to have a harder time staying consistent. But by approaching both of those workouts, whether a high or a low, with gratitude before and after, it sort of levels the playing field. And in my mind, it takes off pressure for having a good workout or a great workout each and every time we show up on the mat, or we go out for a run, or we do, whatever sort of workout we're doing that day. It's almost a way to say, hey, Kelsey, if you feel good, if you feel great, thanks already for giving me what you're going to give me today in regards to movement. If you're feeling, gross and yucky today, Kelsey, just thank you for showing up for yourself today, for putting another deposit into that longevity fund today. Just thank you for what you're about to, the effort you're about to put in, right? And so it takes that pressure off from having to have a great workout each and every time, or really validating those Pinterest sort of quotes, right? Because not every workout is going to feel great. But by approaching it with gratitude, we're able to sort of level the playing field and ride the waves, knowing that there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. But thank you for ourselves, for each and every one of you, for showing up for yourselves. And again, in the sisterhood, we do this every single workout, where I like to approach the beginning breath work and the beginning intention setting with saying, thank you, already positioning our mindsets towards that of gratitude, and then ending the workout by saying, whatever barrier your mind had to overcome today for getting on the mat, thank you. Whatever your body was able to give you today, the pulses, if they were able to do every single rep, if they were to pulse every single rep, whatever it was, thank you. And by starting and ending with gratitude, again, we're wrapping that workout experience in this mindset of gratitude that's going to make us better able to show up for ourselves again day after day and do that workout, no matter if it's going to be a good workout or a bad workout. And there is some science behind it. Of course, I love the science. I really do think that it helps to solidify why we do this, right? Because sometimes you're like, oh, what is that going to do, internally? How is that actually going to rewire our brains? And it really will. This posturing of gratitude, positioning your mindset around gratitude, really will help to rewire your brains. That way you're able to have a more positive experience from the workout, right? So just some quick sciencey stuff, but we have areas in our brain called the medial prefrontal cortex and then the amygdala, and both are affected when it comes to a gratitude practice and sort of circling our workouts and our movement with gratitude, or sandwiching our workouts and movement with gratitude. So with the medial prefrontal cortex, we have what we call pro-social pathways and defensive pathways. And I'm sure you can sort of guess which ones we want to veer more towards, but they exist on a seesaw, right? So when one is heightened, the other one is lower, and when the other, and vice versa, right? So they sort of seesaw. So for the pro-social pathways, these are involved in how we evaluate our experiences, right? So if we are geared more towards those pro-social pathways, we'll be able to have more excitement towards what we're about to do. We're able to stay in the present moment when we're doing that workout. We're able to be more motivated because we're experiencing that particular activity or experience on a more positive scale, right? Where it comes to the defensive pathways, that's where fear, anxiety, cold, we really shut down. And so if we're already approaching our workouts with that negative mindset and that more defensive pathways, it's going to create an experience where we feel that workout's negative, where we feel that workout, we sort of shut down, we feel fearful, we feel anxious. But if we're approaching it with gratitude, we veer more towards those pro-social pathways in that medial prefrontal cortex. And so we're able to rewire our brains to say, hey, I'm enjoying this present moment. I'm excited about this experience. I'm able to get more out of this experience, this current experience, so that we're more likely to do it again, right? And so it exists on the seesaw, and that gratitude practice helps us to favor more of those pro-social pathways. And this is in regards to anything, but especially when it comes to workouts, which is what we're talking about today, right? So pro-social pathways, defensive pathways, that's all under this sort of medial prefrontal cortex's control. The amygdala also comes into play. And with a gratitude practice, we're actually decreasing the activity in the amygdala, which helps to control fear, anxiety, all of these sort of, again, I associate it more with the defensive pathways, right? So we want a little bit less activity in the amygdala, which is fear and anxiety when it comes to workouts. And so a gratitude practice helps us with that and helps us to sort of downregulate and decrease the activation in that amygdala towards that fear and that anxiety. And so that gratitude practice helps us both positively affect the medial prefrontal cortex and the amygdala and go more towards those pro-social pathways that help us to extract more enjoyment from the experience, be more motivated, and be more in the present moment when it comes to working out or whatever we're surrounding with gratitude. So not only is it an immediate sort of fix and assistance to help with motivation and consistency during that actual workout that you're about to perform, but long term, it's also helping us to rewire our brains to be that much more likely to do that workout again and again and again, right? So I think this has been one of the biggest shifts in my working out. A lot of the time people are like, what's the one thing that's helped you stay more consistent or stay more motivated? And it's not necessarily a workout style or workout type, although that helps, right? And having something that you actually enjoy does help, but it's about approaching each and every workout, each and every movement that I do with gratitude, and then ending it with gratitude, so that the entire experience I'm approaching with that just a more positive mindset and a more grateful mindset for what my body's able to give me and what my mind is able to give me that day. So I challenge you to try this on your own. And if you need some guidance, again, the Sisterhood, we have a free trial for 7 days. Try it out. I think it really, really helps our members when it comes to consistency and motivation and just enjoying workouts more, right? So it's a little mindset shift, a little brain trickery that we do. But if you want, I challenge you to start each workout with gratitude, end each workout with gratitude, and see how that works over the next week, month, years, to see how much more consistent you're able to be because of that subtle sort of mindset shift. And again, it's all free, but it's a great way to immediately get the results from a gratitude practice and help your workouts, and then also long term create a whole lot more consistency and help you be that much more motivated to work out day after day again. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you apply it, because again, I save it, whatever you need to do, write it in your notes, because I do think that this is a super duper game changer. Because we can all do the right workouts, or we can all activate muscles in a certain way, but it's all about that mindset when it comes to consistency, when it comes to motivation. So approach each workout with gratitude. Challenge yourself, write it in your calendar, do it in your Apple Calendar, whatever it is, check it off the list each and every day that you do your workout, so that you're tracking it and actually seeing some of the results, right? Actually do this, because you're probably like, wow, that's a great idea, that's a great episode, but I want you to actually do it so that you can actually see the results. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this podcast, please follow along, subscribe, write a review. I would really, really, really appreciate it. We're also on YouTube. If you want to see and actually visualize the podcast, if you're more enjoy watching podcasts, that's great too. But again, thank you so much for following along. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again on the next Wellness Big Sister podcast episode.